The Houston Rockets have had one of the most interesting off seasons in the NBA this year, in my opinion, because as a team that won 22 games last year, they go out and they spend some big time money in free agency. They also bring in a new coach, and in my opinion, they probably won the NBA draft, bringing in a Thompson and Cam Whitmore. Also, Fred VanVleet, who we referenced earlier, a guy that, yeah, he got paid a lot of money for a guy that shot like 39% from the field last year. So we're going to break all that down. Also looking at their young core consisting of guys like Alfred Sengun, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., and others. So make sure you stick around for the full video. Also make sure to hit the like button and leave me a comment down below as it really helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. About 97% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed. So I mean, what are you doing? Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. This is the place you want to be if you like NBA content. We're talking, daily uploads basically forever. The huge winners of this draft are the Houston Rockets, in my opinion. Number 4, they go out, they get him in Thompson, a guy at 6'7". He's an elite playmaker, and yeah, he might be sitting the bench the first couple years of his NBA career, but that could be really good for him. He is a very raw prospect, that super athletic, elite defender already. But, there's other parts of his game that he's got to learn, like the shooting aspect of things, how to play the game at the NBA level. Didn't even really go to college. Went to the OTE league, which is still a little bit questioned when it comes to, a viable option after high school. But knowing that he's going to be able to facilitate to these guys for the next 4 or 5 years is going to be something beautiful to watch. He could easily average over 10 assists per game. Those 5 guys right there can put the ball in the basket, and that's not even half of what they have right now in Houston. And then Cam Whitmore, an absolute steal at number 20. I will argue with you all day long that Cam Whitmore should have been a top 10 pick. I had him at number 5 in my prospect list. Super athletic, 6'7" wing, and I think he's going to be a very, very good player in Houston. Maybe not right away because, of course, they've got some guys right now on the roster ahead of him, but as he continues to grow and develop, he's a tough shot maker. Like I said, super athlete, and he also weighs like 230 at 6'6", 6'7", so he's going to be a load to stop in Houston. And also, a guy that I think is a bit of an overreaction is the 3-year, $130 million contract that they signed Fred VanVleet to. That also has a team option for the 3rd year. So essentially, it's a 2-year deal. After those 2 years, he's gone, and they let him in Thompson play. This is a guy that averaged 19.3 points, 7.2 assists, and a few rebounds a game. As an undersized point guard, he's never going to be a franchise point guard. 39% from the field, 34% from 3, 1.8 steals. Good defender for somebody his size, but he is just limited on defense due to his size. However, I think for 2 years, he's going to be the starting PG in Houston. And then after that, you turn over the reins to Thompson. And then Dillon Brooks, 4 years, $80 million, although it's been reported that it could be closer to 4 years, $90 million with all the extra stuff. He's a great perimeter defender, and that's really what he brings to the table. Anything else he gives you, like offensively, is just an added bonus. Of course, you got to work on that shot selection. He does like to take some wild shots from way downtown. Look at his field goal and 3-point percentage, neither above the 40% mark. 3-point percentage at a 34, not looking good. They also go out and get a couple of vets in Jeff Green, who just won an NBA championship, so he's bringing that championship DNA to the locker room, as is Fred VanVleet. And then Jock Landale coming over from the Phoenix Suns, solid veteran center. They also had Brook Lopez. They thought they had Brook Lopez in the bag, and apparently there was a hole in the bag. It fell through. But looking at this cap sheet here, you really don't have to pay anybody. That's the beauty of these contracts. Jalen Green and Alfred Sengun are the first 2 guys you will have to extend, and that doesn't even happen until 2025, 2026. Those extensions don't kick in until that year, so you can decline the VanVleet contract and still be perfectly fine with your money on the books. Now, the KPJ role is an interesting one. I think this is going to be a big-time decision here in Houston. Could he be the odd man out? I mean, I don't know how you tell a 23-year-old that averaged 19.2 points, 5.7 assists, and 5.3 rebounds that he's the odd man out and he's not going to be getting any more PT. You got to play him. 44% from the field, 37% from 3, 1.4 steals. He had a really good season, especially with the fact that they made him play a position that he's not really familiar with. 3.2 turnovers is a testament to that. Not exactly a pure point guard, which is why they went out, they get VanVleet and Thompson. But as for KPJ, I think he should be the 6th man. Coming off the bench, at the backup 2 or 3, I think that's an elite spot for him to be. Just because, he can come in and he can absolutely cook. People forget he was an elite shooting guard before they tried to turn him into a point guard because of Jalen Green. Now, we have seen Coach Ime Udoka work some magic with a couple of elite wings before in Boston, taking them to the NBA championship. And he has a chance to do that here in Houston, developing Cam Whitmore, who we've talked about, super athletic. He's got all the tools, all the intangibles that you could want. You also try to develop Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., who proved he was just too good to be playing in the Summer League. Tari last year as a rookie, I was high on him. He averaged 9.3 points, 6 rebounds, 1.1 assists. Thought they had a great pick when they went and got him, 16 or 17 last year. I had him at 14 in my rankings, 45% from the field, 34% from 3, 1.2 steals. And he's just going to keep getting better as he gets more and more minutes, because as a rookie last year, he was somewhat limited when it comes to minutes. Only played 22 a game, and he will be 22 years old heading into next season. And then the man, Jabari Smith Jr., absolute monster, 12.8 points per game, 7.2 rebounds, 1.2 assists. I was very, very high on Jabari Smith Jr. I had him as, I believe, my number 1 prospect in last year's draft class. Obviously, his rookie season did not really pan out the way I thought it would, but he's proving in the Summer League he's a dog. Tatum, Kevin Durant-like at 6'11", not with his skill, just with his build. I had some people say, he's not even close to Kevin Durant. I mean, obviously, he's a rookie with a non-point guard as his point guard, if that makes sense. Now, another guy, another young piece here in Houston, is Alperen Sengun. 15 points a game, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. He is yet another guy that is going to be a big-time player for Houston for a good while. 1 steal and 1 block in 29 minutes per game. Big-time fan of Sengun and what he was doing last year. I think he resembles a miniature Nikola Jokic. I mean, you can say that with any big that comes into the league with, decent passing skills, but he's grown from 6'9" at the time of being drafted to 6'11", still 21 years old. He's a guy with, in my opinion, limitless potential as he continues to expand his game outside the three-point arc. Got great vision and can also get some boards. And then yet another guy that I think is going to have a breakout year, Jalen Green. Not really, he already had his breakout year, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, but he was not efficient in the slightest. You look at those numbers, and that's not exactly what you want out of who's supposed to be your franchise player. 42% from the field, 34% from 3. There were even whispers going around in the league circles about him being a shot chucker. It's going to him, it's not coming back. Black hole. Big numbers, bad efficiency. That's not what you want out of your franchise guy. But hopefully next year he can have that breakout year when it comes to his efficiency. Now, let's take a look at my projected lineup for them next year. Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Sengun. This is, they got a little bit of the veteran presence, but they also have the youth with Jalen Green, who will be like 23. Jabari is going to be like 21. Alperen going to be like 21. Very good youth, but you also have, VanVleet and Dillon Brooks bringing the veteran presence. VanVleet, a good defender for his size. Dillon Brooks, one of the better perimeter defenders in the NBA. As long as he doesn't start talking junk to LeBron in the playoffs, which you probably won't have to worry about. I don't see this team making the playoffs next year. Maybe the year after, but not this year. The starting lineup is good, but the bench is where I have question marks. Amin Thompson, Cam Whitmore, both rookies, both expected to play big roles off the bench, and I don't think it's going to be this year. I think next year is their year to make a run. You also got Jayshawn Tate, who's not pictured here. KPJ, Tari Eason at the 3 and the 4 off the bench, and then you've got Jock Landale. You also have Jeff Green, who just won him an NBA championship. All kinds of talent here in Houston. That's why I think they've had one of the best NBA off seasons around. So with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button and hit the subscribe button, as well as turning on those post notifications. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.